What's up guys, it's Jonathan with Off-Road Place and welcome to the very first installment of what's in my off-roading camera bag in 2023. Well, maybe it's bags, plural. I do a lot of pointing, I noticed.
That's good. That's
a lot of gunslinging here. All right, so we are about to head out to Maris Adventure again, and I thought it'd be cool to show you guys all of the camera gear and things that we take with us. Since we're already charging the batteries and getting things together, I figured why not? And also I'll be sure to put links to all of the gear in the description in case you want to check it out or purchase at will. Typically when I go off-roading, I have 3 different things with me. I have my core camera bag, my Pelican hard case, which has action cams, and then I have my drone case. But first, let's cue up some B-roll. What do you think, Ben? First time out here.
Pretty nice. I like it.
So I thought we'd talk first about my core camera bag, which is the NOMATIC McKinnon camera bag. It's 35 liters and it can expand up to 42 liters. I take this thing with me everywhere. I've had it for probably over a year, maybe almost 2 years since it first came out. It's an awesome camera bag, plenty of room for everything that you can imagine. And also have an air tag that's kind of permanently installed in it, just so I know where it's at all times. Let's talk about the different gear that's in my core bag, and we'll break it up by talking about camera gear, audio, and lighting. All right, let's talk cameras. So camera gear, I love my Canon R5. This is actually the R6. I'm sure there'll be somebody that says, actually, that's the R6, not the R5. For demonstration purposes, this is the R6, and I'm actually shooting with the R5 right now. I use the 15 to 35 millimeter lens typically, and also have the 24 to 105. And I also have it attached to this PGYTECH, and it's actually called the MANTISPOD Pro, actually. And it's great because you can easily adjust it if you need to do vlogging. And it's also great for shooting B-roll, just to have an extra handle there. So I definitely recommend that setup. I also like the R5 because it shoots 120 frames per second. It's great for video, it's great for photography. So it's my run and gun camera that I take with me everywhere. As far as tripods, I have the Peak Design travel tripod. It's the carbon fiber. And this thing is awesome. It packs up so small, and I just put it in the side of my backpack. And it's good to go. It also comes with an iPhone adapter. So definitely recommend this tripod. And then for mobile, because we do shoot quite a bit of vertical for the TikTokers, we have the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. I think I actually have every model of this since 1. And so far this is my favorite. I didn't like the 5. It wouldn't hold the phone too well. It always get kind of rickety on me. But I do like this one, and it also has the selfie stick that comes up. So that's why we shoot a lot for mobile. I also have a few Peter McKinnon items here. I'm probably gonna get ridiculed, like, oh, everything you have is Peter McKinnon. But I don't care. He's influenced a lot of people, and he has some great gear, and he's teamed up with NOMATIC on a lot of things. I have the Polar Pro ND filters for the 82 and the 77 millimeter. And then also, obviously, I take my SD card case with me and the battery pack. And again, all of these fit perfectly in the camera bag. That pretty much sums up the camera items that are in my bag. There's some other smaller things that aren't as important. So let's move on to audio. All right, so as far as audio goes, I'm a big fan of audio. I feel like audio is what really separates amateur videographers from professional, because the video can look awesome, but if the audio sucks, the video sucks. So that's why I'm really big into making sure that everything is mic'd up from talent or people, to also having a backup mic on the camera itself. So let's start there. On the camera itself, I have the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which is great because it plugs right into the camera and can also get its charge from the camera. So it's one less thing you have to worry about as far as batteries go. The next core audio element that I have is the DJI wireless lavalier mic system. This thing is awesome. Everything is charged. You get up to 15 hours using these. And I used to use the Rode Wireless Go 2s, and I thought those were awesome at the time until I discovered this. And I'm sorry, Rode, I love your mics, but I just think DJI did a better job. And no, DJI is not sponsoring this video, not yet at least. Wink, wink, DJI. But yeah, for wireless lavs, definitely like the DJIs. And then I do pair that with a Rode lav mic. I always have a couple of these with me. As far as miking lavs, we usually do what we call a MOLESKIN sandwich. And if you're not sure what that is, just search in YouTube MOLESKIN sandwich miking, and you'll be able to watch a video on that. And I'll also put a link below. You know, always want to make sure you have some earbuds you can just plug in and listen to the camera or to your lav mics. And so we just have some Sennheiser earbuds. Anything will really work for that. So that's audio. So let's get into lighting. I don't carry a lot of lighting on the trails, obviously, because you don't really need it, but I do carry this Lume Cube LED panel. This is great, especially if you're needing to shoot a suspension or skid plates or something underneath the vehicle. And also you can actually charge up other devices to this if you needed to charge something on the go. There's other versions or brands that are great. Whether you use Lume Cube or Aperture, these are great to have in your camera bag. Finally, I always carry my external hard drives with me. Usually I have like 3 of these with me. I go through quite a bit, and this is the Lacy Rugged 5 terabyte USB-C. This thing works great. Haven't had any issues with them. And once these get close to being filled, I offload them to an archive drive. So I always make sure I have plenty of space with me while I'm on the trails especially. So that about sums up what I have in my core camera bag. So as far as action cam goes, I have a Pelican 1310 hard case, which is great. It fits all my action cams in one case. That way, if I need something that's camera related, I go to my camera bag. And if I need something that's action camera related, I have one case to find everything. The guts of my action camera case are pretty simple. My main camera that I use on the vehicles and also in some of the dash mounts, you know, when I'm shooting the driver and the passenger.
Holy cow. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What is this?
I use the DJI Action Cam 3. This is the latest model that just came out in September. And the quality and everything about it is awesome. So much better than the Action Cam 2, which had the lens and the battery separate and they magnetized together, kind of like the Insta360s did on their models. But luckily they went back to the straight up regular action cam format. I always mount this on a Fat Gecko mini suction camera mount, and I have about 5 of these. I always carry extra because there's always somebody that's like, hey, do you have an extra suction cup? And so we always use them. But this thing is great. Always dusty, but make sure you do clean the bottom and the vehicle or it will fall off. As long as you do that, this thing isn't coming off. It's great. We go through some pretty hard stuff and these things rarely come off as long as you clean them before you put them on. That's my main setup as far as action cam goes. As far as where to place action cams, my recommendation is I put one on the front hood. That way you can see a better shot of the trails and what you're about to go through. Or I'll back it up and put it right above the windshield. That way you can see the front of the vehicle and the trail. When I mount this to the very front and it doesn't see any of the vehicle, sometimes it actually looks like a drone hovering like right by the ground once you get going. So it's a pretty cool angle. Another reason why I like the Action Cam 3 is because the Adventure combo comes with a battery pack where you can charge 3 batteries, just like the DJI wireless lavalier pack. They're following suit and also giving you a pack to charge. Man, it's so much better. It's a quick change and you can be out on the trail all day and not have to worry if you have enough batteries, especially when you have, 4 to 6 action cams running on 3 to 4 different vehicles, which we typically do. I have these low pro cases, which these can easily go into like so, and then it folds down, and then I can put the battery pack in there. And I typically have 4 action cams total in my case, and so these just fit perfectly in there. So that's kind of the action cam setup. And then finally, what I keep in there is extra walkies. We have them obviously in our vehicles, but you always want to make sure you also have extra just for all the camera guys that are actually out on the trail. So they'll grab these when they head out. So that is what is in my action cam case. Somebody will always calls. Don't they know we're making movie magic here? I mean, come on. All right, so let's talk about drones. I love drones. I'm a big fan of the DJI drones. I know DJI has been coming up a lot in this video, and it's just because I really do like their product, and that's really the sole reason. But DJI, come on. So our primary drone is the Mavic 3 Cine. This thing is amazing. It's fast. It has the cinema mode, the slow mode, and also the sport mode, super quick, which helps. Not that we go super fast on the trails, but when you do get a section where you can open it up, this thing can keep up. We could do a whole video just on this drone, but let's talk about, I guess, the pros. The quality is awesome. It has the ability to shoot ProRes 422 HQ, which is one of the highest codecs that you would need for shooting on the trail. So that's a great add. And it also has the 2 different lenses that you can switch between. Another pro is the batteries do last longer, and it's even easier, to get out versus on the Mavic Air 2 that I'll get into in a second. And storage. Storage is awesome because it has the capability to store up to 2 terabytes of footage, which is crazy big. 2 terabytes is huge. So if we were gone for a week, we really wouldn't have to worry about switching the card over because I don't think we would shoot more than 2 terabytes of footage. And so it has a 1 terabyte SSD internal, and then we put a 1 terabyte SD card in it as well. So that's one less thing to worry about, which is great. All right, so as far as cons, let's talk about battery life. DJI says that it lasts around 42 minutes or something like that. That's a little optimistic, DJI. I think it's more about 30 in our experience when we take this thing out. Could be just because it's more windy or different conditions. Maybe when it's super calm and flat, maybe you can get 40, but we found it to be closer to 30, but that's okay. We have 4 of them, so as soon as one of them runs out, we put it in the back of one of our vehicles on our Jackery and charge it up. And so we always have those things charging, so it's great, and then you don't have to worry about, again, the SSD cards getting full because there's plenty of storage. Other than that, I don't really have any other complaints about the Mavic 3 Cine. The Mavic Air 2 is great, does everything that you need it to do, for sure. But now the Mavic Air 2 is kind of the stepchild to the Mavic 3, to the big boy here. And so this has become more of our sacrificial lamb. So when we're in a spot that has more brush and more trees, then we might not put out the 3 and put the Mavic Air 2 up, just because we don't really want to mess up the 3. And we do have DJI Care on both, which is awesome. We haven't had to use it. So the Mavic 3 Cine is awesome at places like Maris Adventure, where we're down in the canyon. There's very little obstacles. You don't have to worry about power lines or trees. And so this actually becomes like our A camera. Like everything that we capture, we try to get on drone. I don't know if you've tried it yet, but sitting in a off-road vehicle that's bouncing while trying to fly a drone can be kind of challenging, especially if you get car sick. You go as long as you can, and then you have to, say uncle, and we'll bring the drone down because we obviously don't want people getting sick in the vehicles. So that's one thing. But if you don't get car sick while droning, this thing is the way to go, especially for those kind of environments where it's just open sky and it does have the sensors letting you know if you're about to hit something. And also we'll fly this in open skies as well, just to get a second angle. Maybe one drone is flying from the rear of the caravan and then one's up ahead, things like that. So 2 drones does awesome for telling a story, and they also have 2 practical uses as far as the environment that you're in. That sums up what we have going on as far as our drones. I swear every piece of gear that I have has dust all over it.
Yeah, love that off-roading.
Red dirt. So thanks for checking out another video and seeing what's in our off-road camera bags for 2023. And I'm gonna make sure that I link everything below so that you can check it out and learn more about some of the products that we use. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that little bell so you won't miss another Off-Road Place video. Where is the bell? I'll put the bell down here. But for now, we're off to another off-roading adventure. Getting really good at telling if it's a weed eater or a blower. That's a blower. That means they're finishing up. I think they're done. You've been locked up all day in the room.